Question 13, Roman to integer, and it's an easy Leetcode question. So you guys remember the Roman letters? Basically, these are the symbols and these are the values of the value. And basically what you need to do is if they give you a Roman letter combination and you need to calculate what's the integer value based on this here. Basically, 2 is written as 2, basically 2 ones, right? That's pretty straightforward. It's just 2 ones add together. And 12 is basically x is 10, so add 2, so 10, 12, 1, 1. So that's 12, right? Which simply is x plus 2, 2. So the number 27 is 2x, that's 20. And then v is 5 and then 2. So basically adds up to 27. And usually written from the largest to smallest from left to right. However, the numeral for 4 is not 4 ones add up together. Instead, if you remember, the 4 in the Roman letter is IV. It's basically 1 on the left of 5, 1 and 5, but 1 is on the left side of 5 because 1 before the 5, we subtract it to making it 4. So basically, if it's 4, then you need to do 5 minus 1. The same principle applies to number 9. So basically, it's 10, subtract the 1. I is 1, x is 10, so 10 subtract 1 is 9. So there are 6 instances where subtraction is used. So I can be placed before 5 and 10 to make 4 and 9. And x can be placed before L, which is 50. And C, 100 to make 40 and 90. And C can be placed before D, 500 and 1,000 to make 400 and 900. So they will give you a Roman number and a convert to an integer. For example, 3, and it's basically 3. And L, V, I, L is 50, V is 5, and the 1, 1, 1, that's 55 plus 3, that's 58, right? And in this example, M is 1,000, CM is 900, and XC is 90, and IV is 4, so 1994. And here's some constraints here, and it's guaranteed that S is valid and Roman numeral in the range 1, 2, 3, 9, 9, 9. So basically, if you look at this, here are the companies that asked this question in the last 6 months. If you know how this works, I think the reason that it's categorized, it's an easy question, although it's not that easy, it's actually because that they assume that a lot of people know Roman letters already. And the scenario that we want to take a look at is the example that they give to us, like the LVIII. So basically, if they give you 50, 5, and 1, 1, 1, right? In this case, you just adds up everything together, 50 plus 5 plus 1, 1, 1. And then in the so MCMXCIV case, M is 1,000, right? So M is 1,000, and C is 100. So 100 with 1,000. And then you can see that the X is 10 and C is 100. Let me remove that. IV is basically 1 before the 5, right? And if you do this, that's 1,000 and that's 900, right? And here is 90. And here is 4. And if you look at the examples here, you need to find out that what are the things in common and what's the rules here. Basically, if in the descending sequence, like 55, 111, if it's the number continues, continuously to get smaller and smaller, you basically just need to add up everything together, 5 plus 5 and plus 3. So then you get to 58, right? However, if you see a number that is the left side, so this is descending, right? But it get to here, it ascending again. So basically, if you see any number is ascending, if the left side number is smaller than the right side number, for example, in this case, what you need to do is subtraction instead of adds up together. That's basically what you need to do. And it's a single pass. You basically just need to go through every single string in the every single character in the string here, and then to decide to add them together. If the number is getting smaller, you wanted to add up them together. And if the number is getting bigger, in this case, you want to subtract this number on the basically on the left side, and then you want to add up process every single character in the string and it adds up together and return the entire final result here, if that makes sense. And that's basically all you need to do. You just need to handle this case descending or ascending, comparing the value. So let me show you how to do this in code. And to save some time, I have already written this values in the hash map. So basically I mapped this I, V, and everything, mapped their value together to here. So you have these values, right? So then I'm gonna start processing the every single character. So I want to say a result is the result that we're trying to calculate here. And I set the result to 0 at the beginning. And I will set I at starting from index 0 here. So I would say, well, I is smaller than the length of the string, because it will not go over to the length of the string as long when it get out of the while loop is the time it will return the result, the final result, the calculation, right? So if I plus 1 is also smaller than the length of the string, because if it's not, then we just simply add it. And if it has the next number, so that we have something that we can compare with. For example, if we are at C, if the M is also smaller than the length of the string, which is true. And also the other thing is that we want to compare the values. So the values of Si, so basically this value, the value of Si, if it's smaller than the values of Si plus 1. So basically is this case. If the i's value here, basically the C, it's smaller than the M value, M is I plus 1 in this case. In that case, what are we going to do? We're going to say, we're going to add the result. We're going to add this value, right? Because this needs to be added, but we need to subtract the 100 here. So basically, we need to add Si plus 1, but we need to minus the values of Si in this case. That will be the calculation, and every time we see this, and we just continue to add them to the result, and then we can continue to process this. And after we do this, we will need to manually to move the shift of the pointer, and we need to shift the pointer plus 2 in this case. Plus 2 instead of 1, because we process the 2 number here if it's smaller than that. So we want to move I to here, and then the next I will be at the X position. Usually we will move 1, right? So the else condition is that if, for example, we're at the M here, and it's just for example, we're at the beginning of the M here, and then the next, I can't use this as an example. But basically, if the next number where we are at is smaller than the current number, for example, the 10 is smaller than 1,000, right? What we're gonna do is just simply add this values as we're just simply adding the next value, right? And then after I do that, then we will just shift the I to 1 here. And then after we jump out of the while loop, and it will just simply return the result. And this way we will be able to cover both case scenario that where the next number is bigger than the current number, and the next number is smaller than the current number, and we will be able to calculate the result. And we can do the calculation here, and if you want you can also do some other cases, but let's submit. And if you think this is helpful, please like my video and subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you soon with more Leetcode questions. Bye bye.